Modern drummer, I'm David Frangioni. You guys are gonna love this. When one drummer isn't enough, we got two on tour with the Melvins. These guys are incredible, iconic to say the least. And here we are with Dale and Cody. Guys. Yeah, modern drummer. Check it out, the Melvins. Here with Cody Willis, on tour with the Melvins, double drumming. How you doing, Cody?
Doing all right, man.
Good to see you, man.
Good to see you too.
All right, how's the tour going?
It's awesome. It's been great. Yeah,
Awesome.
all the bands are really good, and the crowd's been really good. So it's all you can hope for. Chugging along.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
How long have you been with the Melvins?
Well, I started playing with them in I believe it was 2006, and then we did a bunch of records together. We kind of stopped playing with them 2014, and then I recently rejoined the band.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Okay. So Cody Willis inspired. Who has inspired you?
I have a lot, but I think like Keith Moon is one of the biggest ones. I'm a child of the 90s. I really started getting into music late 80s, early 90s. So I grew up in the Northwest, Washington State. So all this stuff was going on in Seattle, just south of me.
Yep.
So I'd see a lot of bands there, but like Keith Moon was one of the biggest ones where seeing someone just like throw themselves into the kit and just like completely total abandon, like lose themselves completely. And that appealed to me. The first time I saw Dave Grohl play, it just looked like he was like in the pit moshing while he was playing. And I was like, oh, he looks like he's having so much fun.
Kind of Keith Moon-esque in a sense.
Yeah, exactly.
That raw
like
energy.
He's just like disappearing into the song, He's just like, he's dancing to the song as he's playing it. First time I saw Dale play too, I was very young, like probably like 15 or 16. And the way he used space and the way, he was just so into it, and it was so heavy, and there was this anticipation in his playing where there'd be all this power, and then this like he'd hold back and make you like wait for the next beat to drop, and it was just this tension that was all these drummers make you feel like they're pushing and pulling you. I really latched onto that.
How did you find the drums? What age did you start?
My favorite uncle when I was a kid, my Uncle Ted, he was a firefighter, and he was also like an amateur drummer, and he had a Blue Sparkle Ludwig drum set.
Okay.
And one of my earliest memories is him sitting me down behind that drum set. I still remember the Blue Sparkle, and I thought he was the coolest, and I decided then that I wanted to play drums. I was probably like 4 or 5 years old.
Wow.
And I didn't actually get to start in earnest till I was a teenager. I learned to play drums in a basement where I grew up. It was my cool friends' parents. They had the coolest parents. And it was kind of a clubhouse in school, and they let me learn how to play drums in their basement, which is like, they should be saints, listening to a kid. And I'd be down there for hours. Yeah. But he was, their dad, this guy, Don Brewer, was a massive music fan, and he turned me on to ZZ Top and The Who and all these other records. He'd be, check this out. And, check out Keith Moon, and like hear that. And, there's nobody like him, like nobody's playing like him. And still to this day, you'll run into drummers who don't understand why he's awesome. Or they'll be like,
because he's so unique.
He's so unique. He's in the moment. To some people, it might be like, oh, he's sloppy. But he's actually like, no, listen to the lyrics. He's playing off the vocals. He's playing off the guitar part. He's doing all these things. And it's so passionate and so raw and in the moment. I love it. It's great.
So what is something that people don't know about Cody Willis?
When I was 11 years old, I started doing martial arts, and I got my black belt when I was 16, and I was teaching for a while. It taught me so much about like self-discipline. And
you were teaching martial arts?
Yes. Yeah.
Awesome.
Working hard at something, and you can transcend your limitations. The joy of like being able to do something that you couldn't do previously, and surprising yourself, finding new horizons, and all those things like totally just applied to drumming for me. Like, you start at a certain spot and you're like, I'm never going to be able to do this. I could never do that. Or you look at a drummer that you like and you're like, I could never play like that. And then slowly you understand what's happening, and you learn more, and you surprise yourself, and you can do it, and that, I think learning that discipline of like just working, just put your head down and work and work and work. And all of a sudden you can do something that you couldn't do before.
Wow. And martial arts really was in parallel with your drumming.
Yeah,
'Cause
yeah.
you were pursuing at that age both passions.
Yes.
And they both are really full-time commitments when you look at them, but you did them both.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And that's a lesson in and of itself, isn't it?
I
That
think
you
so.
can actually multitask because you're going to school and you're learning drums and you're learning martial arts,
Well,
and not only learning, but then excelling.
those principles could apply to almost anything, any discipline you wanted to pick up. Just the dedication and studying it and just being passionate about it and becoming more than what you were before.
Did you have a great instructor that took you through martial arts all the way to black belt? Did you have
Yes.
a sensei or
I did.
someone?
Yeah. And he was also a drummer.
Wow, this is okay. That's pretty awesome.
Yeah.
And do you still practice martial arts?
I haven't in a long time. I'm drumming full time, but a lot of the lessons I learned, a lot of the principles I learned, I definitely apply to
Still
drumming.
to this day.
Mhm.
So, what's the first big break on your journey while you're drumming that took you from local to big step forward?
I moved to Seattle when I was about 19 years old, and I met these guys at a party. It was my first band, the Murder City Devils, and they needed a drummer. And we were talking, and I had moved to Seattle from about an hour north of Seattle, this town called Mount Vernon. I was like, I'm gonna find some people to play with, and I'm gonna play in a band, and I'm gonna do it.
So you went there on a
And-
mission.
Yes. Found these guys, and within 6 months, we were touring nationally. Like we were in a van, going on tour, having adventures, not really having any idea how to do it or anything like that. But that was like,
No manager, no agent,
nope,
just
just
finding clubs, booking them.
yep.
Pre-internet.
Pre-internet, we had you had a calling card for payphones, so you prepaid a calling card, and it was all Road Atlas, payphones, calling card, and off you went. And so that was my first real band, and it was probably like the most romantic time of my life because everywhere we went was someplace I had never been before, and I was going there to play music. Within like a year and a half, we had some friends like Sub Pop Records asked us to be on the label, and we ended up opening for Pearl Jam for 3 days.
Amazing.
And that was crazy. We went from playing, clubs that were like held 50 to 100 people
Sure.
to being in front of 20,000 people. So that was a shock. That was a break.
And that's something
That's
you'll
a big
never
break.
forget.
I will never forget that for the rest of my life.
And then what's the next big moment from there for you?
I just toured a whole bunch. I had another band after Murder City Devils called Big Business. It was a 2-piece, just bass and drums.
Okay.
We played a lot, and we met these guys, Dale and Buzz. And so, like every time we toured down the coast, we'd stay at Dale's house,
Okay.
and we did some touring with the Melvins. And then one day they asked us to join the band. Two
Amazing.
drummers.
Wow.
And so we ended up moving from Seattle to LA to be in the Melvins. And that was a pretty big life change.
Huge.
Like,
And they
yeah.
were only single drummer prior.
Yes, they only had Dale prior to that. So
Awesome.
yeah, it was unheard of, and it was he was such an influence to me, learning how to play drums and everything too. So it was a dream come true.
Do you have a practice routine? How do you stay fresh?
I'm very cut and paste.
Mhm.
Anytime I watch a drummer, even if they're just starting out, there's always one thing that they do that's unique and cool, and I try to grab that. Like whenever, like, oh, he's doing this, that's really cool, and I'll try to take that and work on it. Or if somebody does a cool run or a really cool part, I'll figure out what they're doing and try to break it down and make it my own.
Mhm.
I'm always working on like 4 or 5 of those threads.
Right.
Like from different drummers, different things I see, or even if I see it on TV or something like that, I'll grab it. I'm like, oh, I like that, really cool. And then, I don't know, once or twice a week, I always have like a free swim where I just sit down and I anything goes, and I just go and like stream of consciousness and see where it takes me. And sometimes it's cool and sometimes nowhere, but it's just fun to like not have any goals or anything, just sit and play,
That outputs creative moments.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah.
when you land on it, it's like you wouldn't have any other way, but just freestyling basically.
So right now I'm playing in 4 active bands. So I have Murder City Devils. We still play like 2 or 3 shows a year.
Okay.
I play in a band called High on Fire, and I play in a band called Big Business,
Mhm.
and then the Melvins as well. It's always a different physicality and a different mental space playing with a different group of people, So
Sure.
it keeps you pretty limber.
Yeah, for
Like,
sure.
You have to like kind of fall into that vibe and that feel of that band, and it's always a little bit different. So
And a lot of set lists to memorize.
yeah.
And parts to know.
Yeah.
So you're a left-handed drummer from day one? You realized?
No,
like, I'm
day
a
one,
lefty?
I had a guy, there was a guy at my karate school who was also a drummer, and he's like, I'll show you how to set him up. So he set him up right-handed. I write left-handed, but I play sports right-handed.
Okay.
Like, so I bat right-handed, throw right-handed.
Okay.
Set him up right-handed, and I could do it. And I did that for a while. Then I was like, I better at least try setting him up. So I switched it to left-handed, and then instantly it was like, oh yeah, this is way easier, way better. So
Wow.
pretty much from the get-go, it was a left-handed kit. Yeah.
So what's one lesson that you've learned that you want to share with people about the music business that'll help them kind of save some time?
I would say don't spend your life in your basement perfecting your chops. Like, get out as soon as you can, even if it's before you think you're ready. Play with other people, and if you can find other people that are better than you, even better. And just jump in and play with them. You're going to learn stuff so much faster. You have to think on your feet, and that's all stuff you're going to have to do anyway. You have to be on your toes, and you're never going to be like ready to do this. So like, just go play with other people, and keep your head down and work. Like, just keep playing, keep going forward. Don't quit. Don't stop. Don't worry about how you're doing on social media or what people say about your band. Don't worry about any of that shit. It's not going to help you. It's not going to help you be better. If you believe in yourself, if you believe in what you're doing, just keep doing it. Don't stop. Plenty of other people are going to quit. Plenty of other people are going to stop doing it. Just keep going, and you'll be okay.
And you can't win the game if you're not playing it.
That's right.
Yeah, that's awesome. Great advice. Cody Willis. So guys, I'm here with Dale Crover. We're on stage. Dale, who has been your biggest inspiration?
Well, I know there's a guy I need to mention who I really followed for a long time and just passed away, and that's Clem Burke. I think he's an amazing drummer. I've got to play a little bit with him before, and as a working drummer, I think that he did so much, not just with Blondie, but with a lot of other bands as well. And so that to me, and for as long as he did it, I think was really a big inspiration, as far as just constantly playing drums, constantly working, and
Right to the end.
yeah.
And
exactly.
you became friends with him. So
Yes.
he inspired you both personally and professionally.
Absolutely.
And what's one memory you have of Clem that you'll always treasure?
I think when I first met him, him telling me that he was left-handed, which was kind of a surprise, because I always liked how he would end his fills and then crash on this cymbal with his
Kind of
left hand.
Ringo-like.
Yeah, well, that he told me, like, Ringo's left-handed too, which I knew none of this. And so that's one thing that I took from his drumming that I thought was cool, is like ending my crash with my left hand here, So, but then I just found out that he's left-handed, and he started his fills with his left hand, so it made sense.
Left-handed drummer playing a right-handed kit.
Yeah, exactly.
What do people not know about Dale Crover?
Well, what they might not know is that drums is not my first instrument. I was a guitar player first. I started playing guitar when I was 8, and I remember a neighbor friend of mine had a drum set, and I got him to come and play with me, and he didn't really know how to play, and so I kind of said, no, that's not how you do it. This is how you do it, and grabbed the sticks from him, and then that was it. After that, I was like, oh, this is fun. So I switched. I still play guitar. I write songs all the time. I have solo records out where I play everything. I'm a musician, not just a drummer.
So I'm a musician and a drummer, right? The old joke. How many guys in the band? 4 musicians and a drummer.
Yeah, that's right.
No, it's awesome. Nowadays, everybody's, just so multi-instrumental as well. Like, it was a lot more rare for a long time that someone would be proficient and passionate on more than one instrument.
Right.
But nowadays, just the world is just melding into so many different styles and playing types and instruments. Really.
Yeah, and I also think that, playing guitar in a band has helped my drumming. It's helped me with songwriting as a drummer, learning to not overplay, knowing that the drummer isn't always the star of the band. But
Right. Well, hearing a song from the songwriter's perspective is so different than just hearing it for the first time for a drum part.
Exactly.
So you're right. It really, it glues the song very differently.
Yes.
And especially when you're writing the song.
Right.
So you're hearing drums almost from day one, like, oh, I think it's
Exactly.
going to have this kind of vibe.
Exactly. And even in our band, in the Melvins, you know, Buzz will write for both of us, you know, and he'll have, not always, but he'll have a specific idea of how he wants the drums to be, and, you know, has a vision of the whole thing.
When's the first big break when things really start to cook?
God, I don't know. I kind of felt like I joined a band that was already established, you know, like they were playing shows in the big town of Olympia, Washington, and actually making money and playing originals. And that was appealing because, you know, in our hometown, there was really nobody doing anything like that. It was like cover bands playing at the high school.
Sure.
So I don't know. I mean, there's been all kinds of milestones for the band. And I think, you know, even now the band is bigger than ever.
Right.
You know, we're on this tour. We're doing 52 shows on this tour.
Yeah, amazing.
Playing with the amazing Napalm Death, and every show has been packed, and it just keeps getting better and better.
Which is incredible. Yeah. And the staying power of that, and the generations finding the band and loving the band.
I mean, every tour, on this tour, I can tell that there's kids in here that have never seen the band before. They're finding the band from how, whatever, you know. Yeah. Maybe the Nirvana connection or whatever, but there's every time we tour, there's always a new audience.
Yeah, it's fantastic.
It keeps us young.
And what advice would you give to somebody who's thinking about a career in music?
It's tough. It's really tough. I wouldn't want to start a new band nowadays. Just, you know, like we always say, the more peculiar your band is, the better. You know, I mean, you have to be original, I think, for people to notice you. Mm-hmm. And you know, if you just stick it out and hang in there. Just keep playing.
Yeah, eventually things will come together.
Yeah.
Dale Crover.
Right on.
You rock.
Thank you.
David Frangioni. Inspired. What you don't know, now you know. Scorpio Dale Crover.
That's right.
And we'll see you guys at the Rundown.